Okay, that signifies the start of the next round, which is
Heat 2.
round 3, heat number 2.
Kirkpatrick, Donnie Robson, Dan Leishon.
All right, as we've seen, first rider here get underway there and just sort of duck out of the back of that one. That was the rider in blue, Dan Leisham.
So after this heat, we're going to run into repechage.
So this is, as we see another rider there,
so
take off on that way.
Calling on these guys. In
That's
red
Dan Leisham up again,
Smith.
so
in yellow will
he's
be yellow,
getting off the ground.
In yellow will be Papa Smurf. In green will be Adam Marsland.
We see a replay there.
Will be Kegsy. So
Dan Leisham's come all the way up from the Gold Coast there. Cuts a nice little reverse there and just gets a bit held up on the soap studs, as they say.
Number 2.
We saw Josh Kaiboom before in the last heat. He pulled into a barrel and they call it a shampoo when he comes out and gets a little shampoo on the cover up as he come out. So we call got some pretty good sayings there. There's Dan Leishon, as we said, did a nice little reverse and got held up in the soap suds. But welcome you all in live stream land. It's the 2025 Lindsay Connolly Memorial DropKnee Pro presented by Black Flag Brewing. We've just moved into round 3, heat number 2.
So
we've seen a couple of riders in the first round 3 progress through to the semi-finals. First 2 in this heat will come through as well into the semi-finals.
From Victoria, Mr. Justin Kirkpatrick.
We just see Justin Juzzo decided to cut that one a little bit short. He loves these little left-hand rides there, but they've got to be sort of lining up a little bit better for him to stick on that one. But he's a long-time competitor in this event. I think he might have missed one last year, so he'd lost his seed in. So how it works is the format goes that you get a seed in based on previous comps you've been in, but if you miss the event, as we see here, second place last year, getting busy on that one. As we see Zaki Sona, he's still going. He's just like, hello, welcome back into competition, and went to town.
Bashing that one, but just come unstuck there.
As we see after a quick combination, we had young Donnie Robson get a quick one on the right. Zaki Sona open up his account here. Nice little bottom turn there. He's waiting for the barrel. It didn't quite line up, but bang, did he smash that one to town, and then boom. Couple of nice little turns there, and at the end here he's just done a little tap off the back there. Seeing Justin get some big speed here, but just didn't hold up for him. He's as we said, he's a long-time competitor in this heat.
Anyone that's not in the final today, love to see everyone sticking it out there in the expression
Donnie
session.
Robson.
This year's winner going to take away
He's just getting a couple of backhand waves here. It seems like the waves are holding up left and right, but we've got a bit of a south swell at the moment. I think there's a big low that sort of moved across the Great Australian Bight.
393, mate. A 393, Zachy. You're currently in first, mate.
As we see, Donnie Robson,
Donnie,
he got
just dropped in a 3.2, Donnie.
He got fourth in the recent Queensland titles, Donnie.
Donnie, you're currently
He
first, mate, with a
never
3,
been
2
in
and a 1,
the top 4 positions
total.
of this, and he's
Zachy, you're on
looking
a
in pretty good
score, mate, of 393.
position to
Currently in
make it
second.
through this heat and hopefully
Juzzo,
get
you're
into
on a
the final rounds.
1.33 and a 1. You require a 288, Juzzo, 288 to move into second, mate. Dan, you're on a single wave score of 2. You require a 2.21 to move into second.
Okay, as we see our mate from the Gold Coast,
Surfer up in blue here.
Dan Lasham, just didn't keep going on that one. Had to unfortunately fall off the back. He's made the trip all the way up here from the Gold Coast. The past 2 years he's entered as well.
Panel today, boys. Absolute legends.
And yeah, as you can see there, the wave just sort of faded out on him. But last year he entered, and the year before he entered, but due to sickness and a few other things going on, he had to miss the sickness and injuries I think he was plagued with over the past 2 years. So it's good to have Mr. Dan Lasham make it all the way up here from the Gold Coast. He's going head to head with Donnie Robson. He's a local Sunshine Coast Watala boy. Zachy Sona, he's currently residing down here at Caloundra. Dan Lasham, as I just mentioned, has made the trip up across from the, I think the Coolangatta area, I think Dan Lasham is. He's a member of the Gold Coast Bodyboard Club down there, and is a well-known guy in the Queensland scene for bodyboarding. He likes to get out in the waves and strap himself to his board and pull out the GoPro, and he gets some pretty awesome footage there. You, those that have seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about it, but if not, he goes out Snapper Rocks down there when it gets big, straps the GoPro onto his board and pulls into those barrels down there, and gets some epic footage along the super bank, they call it down there on the Gold Coast. So he's well tuned into the barrels. There's a few out there to be had today. As you saw the last heat, I think we saw nearly every rider in that heat get a barrel, but hot in the water there, as we see Donnie Robson get a nice little floater in.
So nice surfing there for the surfing green.
Finishes off with a combo at the end there. So Donnie Robson currently leading this heat. As you can see on the replay there, he took off, eyes down the line there, and bang, nice little controlled floater there, and sort of winds back in, hoping it was going to hit the inside section, and throws a little combination of manoeuvres as he went through. So well put together there for the current heat leader. Currently positioned ranked 4 in Queensland after the recent Queensland titles were held down at Durambar. We got Zachy Sona. He was second place in the 2024 Lindsay Connolly Memorial Drop Knee Pro last year. Hoping to go one better this year. Dan Lasham, as I said, I think it might be his first one, but he's entered the few, but had to unfortunately pull out due to injuries. And Justin Kirkpatrick, multiple Queensland champion, multiple champion in Victoria. Yeah, he's resided on the Gold Coast for a few years there, come and took a few titles, went back down, got to Victoria to grab a few more drop knee titles, so he's well tuned in on the drop knee position. As we see this one winding down, a few good rides going, but we're probably almost at the halfway mark in this heat. The last heat come alive when the sets come through. We had people splitting the peak, going left, going right, over the top, through the middle. We had all the action, but this one's proving to be the same.
Mate, dropped in a 4.57, Donnie. Your last wave of 4.57, mate.
as we hear the beach announcer just announce that Donnie Robson for his last wave just basically dropped about a 4.5 pointer on that one, and has put him in a pretty strong position in this heat, as we see Dan Lasham little shampoo head dip.
Red out the back here. No.
As we see Zaki Sona. He's only got one wave on the board at the moment. Here we go. Dan lined this one up, got a little bit of a shampoo. Just went to cut off the back there, but decided not to continue that one through. But it's leading into this contest.
9 minutes left.
We had like the 30-day forecast for waves and wind and weather and all that sort of stuff, and they were sort of predicting gale force winds, big surf and a big rain event. As we see live action, Juzzo, it's a quick little spin off the back there, and he decides not to cut through on that one. As we see the replay here, he's hopped up, bang, and then gone, okay, it's back out the back for another wave. That one's not going to continue on. But yeah, the 30-day forecast was big surf, scrawling winds, lots of rain. As we see the man back up again.
Surfer in yellow here.
Bang.
Nice little cut back from Juzzo.
Can he push it through?
Weight
He's just done a duck dive off the back of that one, or a dolphin dive, whichever terminology you want to use. But as we were setting up this morning, we had a nice little like double rainbow behind us. If you go onto the Facebook Lindsay Connolly Memorial Facebook page, you can see a little grab we got of the double rainbow. A little bit of rain, but now the day's cleared up. It's sunny, it's warm. The waves have still got I think it's a bit of a south to southwest wind.
Your last wave, mate,
Ann Street Reef doesn't mind a bit of a south to southwest wind.
Mate, you're currently in second.
We're on the southern end of the beautiful Sunshine Coast here. The event's brought to us by our good mates at Black Flag Brewing. We also have Caloundra RSL that was come on board as a sponsor. We've got Inverted Bodyboarding, BLT Bulk Haulage. Custom X are going to be bringing us the expression session in between the semi-finals and finals, so that's always a good show and a good laugh, so you guys make sure you hang around for that. And Lids Bodyboarding, they're a good brand coming out of the Sunshine Coast here as well, and Timmy Oliver's going to be bringing us all the sort of photos and all that. As we see live action there, Donnie Robson just cutting off the back there. But we've also got the Absolute Legends from Absolute Streaming bringing this live to us. They've done a good job of bringing this to us for a number of years now, and you guys at home from all around Australia cheering your families on can sit back and watch it, and you don't have to worry about travelling here with them, because we know it is a big expense to get the contestants here, so we like to bring this to you guys at home so you can just relax. You can be sat at home with the pouring rain, whatever's going on around you, and you can just sit there with a hot cup of coffee or Milo, and all the action's coming straight to you. As we see a split peak here, we've got the Victorian on the left there, bang! And we got on the right hander, he's just pulled off, but Juzzo, the Victorian's taken that one a little bit further onto the inside, so good exchange there. As you can see on the live stream here, I think we had Donnie Robson on the right, but on the left here in yellow, bang, that's a nice turn there from the rider in yellow, Juzzo. As you see Donnie just tucking off the back there as Juzzo pulls it onto the inside and chucks a little victory spin, we'll call it. After you get a good wave, you always like to, I suppose, put the cream on the cake or whatever you want to call it. It's always good for the judges to see a nice big move, but finish the wave off cleanly is always an extra little tick on the end there. And as you saw there, Justin sort of did that to a T. Did that first powerful manoeuvre in the pocket, and then was able to push that through to the shallow inside section, which has got a little bit shallower recently, because we had Queensland got whacked by a cyclone that kind of crossed the coast, I think around Bribie Island, which is sort of in between here and Brisbane. We're quite lucky to a certain extent, because on the bottom side of the cyclone is where you get the most powerful winds. So when you're up on the upper side of the cyclone in Queensland, the wind will spin around and give you offshore waves. So we actually got some pretty all-time surf here on the sunny coast. But then once it crossed the coast, we got belted by onshore winds and everything. But we got solid waves, offshore winds. So even though everyone was at home getting the generators ready, you know, battening down the hatches, the surfers that could get out there in the big conditions actually got rewarded. But unfortunately, this, southeast Queensland copped a bit of a flogging. So here at Ann Street Reef, we've generally got a bit more. We float above the ocean on a platform here at the best of times, but we can see here the waves are sort of almost up underneath the platform as we sit here. I know we're nudging up for high tide around 10 o'clock, so we're pretty much on high tide, but there's a lot of bare reef out there. So while you look at home, you think, wow, if I was these guys, I'd be trying to get upside down in the barrel and back to front. But you've got to remember they're actually over pretty shallow reef out there. So when you see Zachy Sona there jump out, he's actually got to be careful of the shallow reef underneath him. As we see Dan Lasham and the rider in green. So a bit of a combination of waves there.
Unlucky. I don't know how the judge is going to claim that one, but a nice little snap from the surfer in green, Donnie Robson. He's like,
so as we see on the replay, here's Dan Leishon. He's made the trip up from the Gold Coast, but he had to back out because he's seen Donnie Robson. He was flying in fifth gear on that one, and he's seen Donnie coming at him, and he's like, all right, well, Donnie's flying in fifth gear. I'm in about third gear at the moment. I'll let him have the section. You can see the man here, Justin Kirkpatrick. He's just gone. I've just watched all those other guys get all those waves, and this one's doing nothing for me.
Snap reverse at the end section.
As you can see on the replay, he's up. He's looking down the line. He's got his eyes set on it, and he's like, what are you doing to me? But as you saw in the last wave, his current heat leader, multiple times champion around Victoria. He resided on the Gold Coast there for a couple of years and said, you know what, I'm going to throw my hat on the ring and take on the best in Queensland. And he managed to get a couple of back-to-back Queensland titles. So he knows what to do in a competition, and ended up banging a 5.83 on a left-hander there, where he flew across the wave there and did some fierce pocket riding. It was great to watch. As they said, he did a little spin at the end. They call it a victory lap, victory spin, just to sort of nail the heat of the wave of the heat into the bag. And that's, as a competition surfer, you sort of if you can get a good wave in the bag, you always know, all right, best of two waves we count. As you can see on the board, the best of two waves are added together. As we see Zachy Sona, he was in the dying moments of this heat. He only needs about a 3.9 to get through. As we see Justo on his backhand, does a nice little bang, and then he's held onto his hat, as they say, as he went down the falls. It's quite funny when they have that terminology. You know, you hold on to your hats at home when they're doing something like that, and when you're out in the water, you hold on to your hat, and it's quite funny that you can have the motions where you hold on to your hat as you're flying down the face of the wave. As we see Zachy, he was using both hands to hold onto his hat, I reckon, but he didn't quite get there. As we see here, hold on to your hat. See, he grabs his head like he's holding on to his hat. So